sina msaada kwa sasa hivi. Okay guys, somebody was asking for help, asking me to give them some money. It happens sometimes in Kigali when you are going around, moving from one place to the other. You run into someone who, whether it could be a child, or sometimes it's just a grown-up individual like this one. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes to see people asking for money in the street. Well, this is my new street. I don't know if you can say, well, this is where I am now. I have moved from Sonatib, where I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends there. I like the place. It has a different taste, and I wanted to move into a neighborhood that is different from that one. This is a main stadium. They have a bunch of things. They have a big market near here. I'm coming back from a walk around here. I wanted to learn about prices of different things in this place, from food, transport, frame pricing for those who want to rent a space for a commercial space for business. It's actually quite cheap. I didn't expect the price that was introduced to me today. There's if you go up here, then you will find yourself into a road they call KN2 Avenue. I remember 2K Avenue is like a road that takes you all the way to the city center, and then you move from the city center, you come all the way to where I am now, which is main stadium. So they have different prices for different things. Like if you want to rent a space, it can take you up to $200 $200 exactly. And they want something like 2 months or 3 months. 2 months is fine, but if you can take up to 3 months, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and you can have your space. The people are very friendly. If you want to start a business, whatever it is, just make sure that you collaborate with the people in the industry already. Okay, people who are already there. You should have a bunch of different things around you. Like today, I was lucky to speak to somebody next to the Kigali View Hotel, where they have a swimming pool. It was cool. I went there just to learn how much money I can get to spend when I have to go swim with friends and all this stuff. So they have some of the shops that I saw, phone accessories, and also clothes. You can also make a restaurant. Okay, you can also what else did I see there? I saw a lot of things. Can't think of anything. I'm tired. My head is not working properly now. Well, let's say, okay, let me think of something. Oof. Let me vent for a while. Well, others are selling food, vegetables, sodas, drinks, water. Yeah, you can actually do anything. And the best thing when you want to start a store in Kigali is to find something that most people are not doing yet. Yeah, there are a lot of things. For example, me, I had a situation. The weather here in Kigali is kind of complicating to me, and I had a problem with it. Some people say it's fair, it's either cold or hot, but for me, I have a situation. When I'm home, I feel cold sometimes, and when I put on my coat, after like 10 or 15 minutes, I have to take it off, and then I do the same thing over and over again. Well, sometimes it can get really cold at night that you might want to find something you can do to warm up the room, whether by boiling water or anything. My family and I will looked for a heater in Kigali. We couldn't find any. So if you can also open a store and actually put things like electronic stuff, you can make a lot of money out of this. So many times looking for a heater and we couldn't find it. Until now, we haven't found any. We looked online, we looked everywhere, we couldn't find. Guys, welcome to my neighborhood. Now I'm into the rural neighborhood. This is a neighborhood. Well, I'm tired now. Let me get back home and then we'll talk more on prices for different things. This country is not as cheap as many people think it is. Um, it's actually more expensive than uh, so many countries, even more expensive than Johannesburg, which is kind of scary. But I'll talk more on this later. Okay, people, I've rested. I have had my shower. I feel nice. I feel good and safe. So it's time to talk about pricing of things in Kigali. Today I went to different places in Kigali. I went to the rural areas of this country, of this city. It's a very beautiful city where wherever you go, you see a bunch of people going from all directions. So it was a very productive walk. It's raining already. Maybe I should wait for a while and then I'll continue with this video. Looks like because it's been raining. Wow. That's the hill I have. I call it my hill. Um, I can't enjoy. I like to stay outside by now and get to see just I mean, get to look at it. But now I can't do it. Yeah. I hope this noise is not going to disturb us because I have to move on with other things. So I have to make this video real quick and yeah, let's get inside. Hi, my name is Makila and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the cost of living in Kigali. Kigali is a capital city of the Republic of Rwanda. Well, if you're new to my YouTube channel, I make videos about stories of small businesses owners. I've been here for 60 days now. I'm living my last days in Kigali. I already want to leave. Number one, we're going to start with a place to stay. When you're willing to go to a new country, you should know where you're going to stay. And how to know this is to, I mean, it works differently for different people. If you are a religious person, you have to play with the map and look around the place. Find something that is close to places you like. Maybe you're a sporty person. Maybe you are, maybe you like restaurant. So, especially in a city like Kigali, where different things seem to be grouped into into a particular place. For example, if you like going to restaurant, I would recommend you go to in Kisimenti or Mera. These are places where you will be able to move from different places and go find different restaurants because they have a lot of restaurants in Kisiment. It's like a place that is dedicated to restaurant and all kind of stuff. Well, they also have restaurant in other places of Kigali, but this is the place where you'll probably find a different range of good restaurant where you can have fun with friends if you are into those kind of things. Once you've chosen your location, the price for an apartment really depends on who you are, um, your budget, and the kind of things you like for yourself. It really depends on you and your lifestyle, the things you like.
But the most important thing is not the price, is also how you're going to live or whatever place that you've chosen. Again, as I said, it has to be near the things that you are going to be going after. If you like sports, if you like watching things, if you like going, meeting new people, well, I would recommend that you live, for example, in Remera again or in Sonatip, or in these places. You have the Amahoro Stadium, you have Kigali Arena. It's very near, so it should be very easy for you to actually be able to go and do your stuff, meet new people who are interested in the same kind of things, and make some good friends along the way. But another thing to keep in mind about Kigali is that it's a very small city, and you are not going to have a hard time over living in a place that is even if you can actually choose to be in any place that you feel like you want to be, that you like. Maybe you find an apartment that you really like in a place that is near that is too far from the services that you want from the country. Well, I would just recommend that you take it, because Kigali is a very small city. You have to, yeah, everything is just like around the corner. You can take a motorbike, it's like 15 kilometers, 20, no, it's just 8, 15, 12. Yeah, and you can sometimes you can even walk to places you want to go. I've done that a few times. Well, about transport, they have two types of transport. They have the public buses that you can easily, be able to use when you want to go to different places, different places in Kigali. Yeah, different district. I mean, if you want to move easily to different district in Kigali, well, you should consider using a bus. You're gonna need a card like this. You're gonna need a card like this. Yeah, this is a tap go. You fill in some money in here, and then you are good to go. You just use it, and you tell people. Well, the good thing about Kigali is that when you go to a bus station, there's usually someone out there who's going to look around people, and somebody you can talk to. Is just feel free to talk to the people. They don't speak English. Most of the people here, they speak Kinyarwanda only. They don't speak English, don't speak French. Well, some do, but most people don't. So you should know a few things, like how to greet people, how to ask them for directions, how to tell them how you feel about something. Kigali is a place is a city with a lot of hills. We have hills almost everywhere. So when you want to go somewhere, for example, if you want to go a particular place that you saw on the internet, you'll find that it's a bit isolated from the rest of the city, and you're gonna have to use a motorcycle. Motorcycles are probably one of the best ways that you can actually travel with. One of the best ways to travel in Kigali borders, because they take you almost anywhere where you want to go. And it's a kind of a different reality that you're going to face here in Kigali when you're finally here, because you will see places and you want to go there, and buses are not around there. For example, the place where I used to stay, me personally, in Sonatip, it was a place where I had to walk to have access to buses, because there was a very quiet neighborhood where people actually don't come out. So difficult to make friends. Yeah, but you want to go to different places, and I usually use the border. Motorbike, it's usually 500 when you want to move from a place. For example, usually when I had to leave home to Kisimenti, I used to stay in Sonatip, and I would pay 400 or 500. If I want to leave Sonatip up to the city center, I will spend 1,000. If I want to leave Mena Stadium, which is where I am now, to Kisimenti, I'll probably spend 1,000, but also, or maybe 1,000 200. Some would say 500 because it's a long distance. If I would use to spend 500 just to move from Kisimenti to Sonatip, then imagine Sonatip and up to um, Mena Stadium. It's 1,000, so it's very reasonable when they say that. But sometimes if you insist for 1,000, they will take it. But it's better to give them maybe 1,200, and yeah, you're good to go. So this is the kind of reality you're going to live in, because in several different streets in Kigali, buses just don't go, and they can't go actually, not because they have a road everywhere, almost everywhere, but the problem is that the streets are very small sometimes, and bringing buses there would actually create unnecessary noise for the people. Food is nice. It's a beautiful thing to to like food. Well, then again, you have to know how expensive the kind of stuff you like to eat in a place where you're willing to move to. For example, here in Kigali, well, my advice would be find food at a very reasonable price. But usually, a lot of places in Kigali have kind of the same prices, but different market tend to have different prices for things. I remember the first time I arrived here, I went to a market called Kimironko. Yeah, Kimironko Market. Kimironko Market is a bit. People say it's a bit expensive because in a very fancy neighborhood where tourists like to come to that place and buy the stuff. So they have this idea that they even call it that, oh, a market for tourists. So when you go there, they assume that you have money. It's very easy to get overpriced there, but you don't have to. You just need to know how to get yourself around this place and be able um, to be part of those people who can be saved in a way that is just reasonable. Well, they have several types of market. They have Kimironko. We also have Nyabugogo market. I know names now. They have a lot of things, but Nyabugogo is the cheapest. Um, the city center, you can go there, but yeah, yes, you can go there to buy things, but it's very expensive sometimes. People just have prices that are very high unnecessarily, and it's very easy to get overpriced in Kigali as well. As a foreigner, my advice to you would be your first shopping in here, you shouldn't go alone. You should go with someone. You should probably have maybe your host or anybody, just any friend that is, any find any native person who can help you go around and get you through things, prices of things, and so that you can be able to have an idea of how much money you're going to have to spend on something. Not buying things that you don't necessarily feel like you need them. When sometimes it happens when you go to a market and you see something, if you don't know, you didn't plan that, you didn't know you were going to buy, you didn't know you were going to see that particular service or product. So it's just nice to, well, if you've made sure that you have a clear understanding of the need of this to you now, well, just note down the name of the service or the product, and go back and then go do a research about it, instead of just going forward and start asking how much is this. You shouldn't ask this question. You should, when you're going to buy something, you should have an idea already, the price of the product, you know where to find it, different prices for the same product in different markets. So yeah, you just go there, you pay. It's not like how much is this? That is stressful. You do a stressful task when you have to know the name of the product. That's more healthier because you actually doing this all alone, maybe with friends, and you know you're not gonna spend money. But when you're in the market, you don't know the price, and you're asking how much, and then you are trying to trying to propose your prices. Chances that you're going to be overcharged. So that's it already. Maybe say on food is that food is actually very cheap. The 80-kilogram potatoes for 5,000. The pineapple you can get for 1,000. Tomatoes you can get a bunch of onions for just 500. And yeah, the price is just very ordinary compared to other countries. But also, it's very expensive. One thing that you have to keep in mind that I would recommend for everyone who's willing to move to a new country, especially people coming from other African countries where they have the idea that the money they have is very big. It doubles. For example, in Congo, if you before I came here, I was in Kinshasa, and there I would have 24,000 francs of the Congo for 10 US dollar. And when I start spending 24,000, I feel like I can't finish it. It's a lot of money. I can eat for only 1,000. I can have food, transport. The motorbike is 500 from where when I needed to go to to other places. So when I moved to Rwanda, one of the first things that I had to make sure that I dealt with was the currency. How much is the US dollar in Rwanda? I came to realize that in Rwanda, 1,000 is actually one US dollar. It's actually like 10,000 or 10 US dollar will be 10,000. So when you spend 1,000, you've already spent one US dollar. So this is something to keep in mind, especially when you're coming maybe from Tanzania or Congo or any other place, or Uganda or any other African countries where your money is too much and you feel like, well, I'm going to this place, I'm going to spend this. Probably you already know how much money you're going to spend when you're going to a particular country. The thing is, you just have to know how much of that money is going to be once you've changed it into the currency that you're gonna need in whatever place that you're gonna go. And then you're gonna have the idea of how expensive things are. Because when you go, for me, during the first days here in Kigali, I would see something and I would say, they will tell me, well, this is 1,000, 5,000, and they'll be like, yeah, just give it to me. Um, yeah, I think the price is nice. And then you come to realize you've spent 5 US dollar already. So if you do that, include other things, transport and all this stuff, you come to realize, well, maybe in 10 days, you've spent more than 200 US dollar or 150 or 100. It really depends on your lifestyle and the places you go, the things you like to do. Yeah, and the things you feel like you need. Yes, that's all for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm very grateful that you stayed this long, and I wish you a very good time. See you in the next video.